All right, everybody, here you go. We've been working so hard on HTML and coding in developing your websites, and I want to jump ahead now to Unit 3 so that we can get into animation and gaming, and you will enjoy this probably so much more than you did when we were doing some of that hard programming on your web page. So get into Code.org, go to your dashboard, okay, which either is in the top or over here on the that menu over there. And scroll down to where your classroom is, and I want you to click on where it says Unit 3 Animations and Games. When you get there, and my screen's going to look a little different than yours, but I want you to take a look, and you should see Lesson 2, Plotting Shapes. Looks like this. Okay, so for the first thing that you're going to do, you are going to now work in Code.org in a section called the Game Lab. And this is where you're going to get to do some creating some of your own type of shapes and things, and we're going to animate them. The goal at the first half of this is to make an animated greeting card. It's kind of cool. So in the overview on lesson 1, or level 1, I should say, of lesson 2, it just gives you a description about what you're going to do. We're going into Game Lab. It's interactive. You get a space to create. And in this activity, you're going to do some communication with a partner to try to get them to draw some shapes accurately. But the first thing that I want you to do when you get into level 2 here is explore this tool, and it's going to let you draw some different colored shapes. We have to start with some pretty simple objects so that you can then go hog wild and create some cool stuff. So come on over to this area, hit run, and play for a good 10 minutes or so. And pause the video, and I'll let you guys play. All right, now I want to draw your attention to a couple of things here. Code.org is so smart, they understand some people might be colorblind. So do you see how right next to these color blobs here, you can toggle between a gray and black scale versus color? And that's because we want to accommodate for people who happen to be colorblind. All right, so it's just kind of a neat option if you want to play with that for a little bit. Cool beans. But now here's what you're tasked with doing. You're going to choose a partner, and just wait a second, okay? You'll do that in a second. And you're each going to get a sheet of paper that has different images on it. In the top row, you'll have a color one and a black and white one. And they're exactly the same. It's just, if you're colorblind, that's what it is. So what one person is going to take a turn being the programmer. You have to describe the shape, and the other person has to be the computer. You have to create the shape right here in Game Lab. Now here's the thing. The computer person cannot ask questions, okay? You are just a computer, and you're just going to do what you're told. So hey, programmer person, you have to be very specific. Down here, have you noticed there's this show grid thing? That's going to come in handy, I feel, as you're starting to describe images. Now, the other person's also going to get a sheet with a couple of pictures, so they are going to take a turn and be the programmer, and you have to be the computer as well. Just remember, whoever's playing the role of the computer cannot ask questions. You're going to spend about 20 minutes going back and forth. You each have 2 images or 2 shapes where you get to be the programmer, and you'll have to also have 2 shapes where you're the computer. Now, before we pause the video and you do that, I'm then going to show you, after you get done, please turn your sheets back in, then go up here to lesson 2, and then when you get back to this screen here for unit 3, now you should see lesson 1 appearing. And what I want you to do is go ahead individually and work through these levels on lesson 1. And I think you'll enjoy it. There are a couple simplified games at the end. Good luck, and may the force be with you.